And the war looming large over next month's presidential election in France. Already, Emmanuel Macron had to cancel a glitzy first rally in Marseille. The incumbent, though, releasing his first campaign video, a new one coming out each Friday, shot as a sort of mini-series. Now, Macron waited until the last possible day to declare he'll seek a second five-year term, and polls show he is a frontrunner. His biggest challenge expected to come from the far-right's Marine Le Pen. But with war returning to Europe, there are questions over the logistical challenges of holding an election. Some commentators may say it's undemocratic without sufficient time to campaign, to rally, to debate, and so on. Earlier, we put the question to Paul Smith, head of the French department at the University of Nottingham. Here's what he had to say.
I think there are two questions there. The major war is, of course, a matter of enormous concern for all of us. But the timetable is fixed. It's there. I see no appetite amongst the candidates to push it back, to postpone the election. It would be very difficult to do that. It would certainly require Parliament, an act of Parliament. It would require the Constitutional Council approving it. But also, if you give in a sense, this is being disrupted. Here we have an authoritarian dictator disrupting a democratic process. The calendar is there and it's fixed. Now, I know that people have talked about, well, Macron won't participate in a debate of all the candidates. Well, nobody did until 2017. That wasn't the way that things were done. That's not a well-established tradition. There is time, there is space. The challenge that Macron faces is actually being able to get out and do what the other candidates are doing, which is hold their public meetings, because this is where the problem for the president candidate will arise in this situation. But I think that the appetite at the moment is not. It doesn't seem to me amongst the candidates or from the president to be going towards the idea of pushing this process back.
And one final question, Professor. Emmanuel Macron has really tried to take a sort of central role in bringing France to the sort of international stage and mediate this war in Ukraine. But what grade would you give him on that task?
Well, he's kind of playing the good cop to Biden's nasty cop in the sense, but he's also got this role. Let's not forget France is chairing the European Union, so there's this secondary role that he has to take. But there has to be a bit of something, a bit of each, doesn't there? And somebody has to be trying to keep keep Putin talking. And if Macron's willing to take the risk of being that person, then I think that is being seen by the French public, as we're seeing in the polls. That is gaining him some kind of greater credibility with his fellow countrymen and women.
All right, time now for a quick break, and then our continuing coverage of the war in Ukraine continues.